Okay, so speaking of superhero, as you know, they wear masks and stuff. As of the current
Nice
climate,
transition.
exactly,
The
transition,
transition
baby.
to math.
uh,
Oh,
so
one
yeah,
thing
as
that
of the
my
current
county
current climate
is
of COVID-19, it's kind of mandated that we wear masks when we go to public, and especially as of now that there's a second wave of infection. So why is it that what was the topic again? That why is it wearing masks
why
so
are
hard
people
for?
not wearing masks.
Yeah, why is people not wearing masks?
Well, because of one or two. No, it's one of
So
two things.
so I think we were talking about this earlier. There's two ways you can go for it. There's the actual common sense way, or you're just being stupid.
We'll say radical in this standpoint.
Yeah,
Radical, yeah.
We'll say
I
radical.
think the common sense one is that you just wear a mask because it's better for everyone else. Because you're not protecting yourself, you're protecting everyone else too.
It's not just okay. The thing is, the thing that affects COVID the most is that around the world, everybody's taking it as just a virus. It's a medical thing. You don't have any politics behind it. It doesn't give a shit about war. It doesn't give a shit about whatever. It's just a fucking virus. You deal with it. You fix it. You do what you can to prevent it. That's it. But then our country is kind of like it's in the middle of a political standpoint between Biden and Trump right now, and that's kind of what's making it worse. Because
yeah,
Trump's feeling the fire of being like, "Oh yeah, COVID we will beat. It is something that is like a wet or an enemy. You could just kill it with a gun. No, you can't.
He's
It's a
taking it more
virus.
like
It's
well,
stupid. You can't do that shit."
technically you can still kill the virus with a gun, but that's
Okay, we're
not.
not talking about that way, Joey, because mass
I was thinking
genocide is illegal.
I think yeah, Gio's kind of right. Where like, they're actually saying like actual Don, where President Trump's actually trying to go against it. Like we can fight it, we can actually go against it.
say
Oh, you're
say
saying
what
with
you
Biden,
want. Say what you want about like China or whatever. I'm proud. I'm fucking proud of shit.
China. I think China did the right thing of what they did.
Yeah,
They just
we
shut
have
down
like
all
what?
their cities.
Yeah,
Just shut them down. So like, please
yeah,
don't come outside. It'll be the best for everyone else. We
yeah.
just don't want to get anyone else hurt or sick from this.
You can say like China fake all the data. Like, oh, there's way more than 80K. Dude, we are getting 50K a day right now in the U.S. There's
Yeah.
not.
So we're not one to blame at all.
Yeah, yeah, U.S. is doing a terrible, terrible job
I do want to
in the
talk
thing.
about what people said about wearing masks, though.
Well, okay, the thing is that the whole
But
idea behind
Yeah, Gio,
mask.
continue with your Biden statement. I do have some quotes from people about mask.
Okay, the thing about this whole mask situation is that it's supposed to somewhat provide a barrier for it. So instead of just spreading it openly like how we usually can, we provide some kind of barrier. And with this whole political thing with fucking George Floyd and Trump and Biden and this whole political fucking uprising of this whole country, basically everyone's going at each other's throat being saying that either a mask is really useful or it's really stupid, either because of slavery reasons or because of fucking entitlement or whatever they want to call it. Basically what it is that those are who are privileged or who have been privileged are fighting against a system that makes them privileged for some reason, even though they're trying to say, look, you need to do this to stay alive. And that's
Yeah,
all it is.
I do have, but I think for the mask thing, I think it's just common sense at that point, though.
But the thing is that people don't have common sense. Entitled, this whole country, like how I've explained to many people, and how I view my political views is like there's an entitled, and then there's just the common sense or the subjective, either one you want to call them. The
I just
entitled
think
are
people are
always gonna
stupid.
the title the no not I just think people are stupid anyways. It doesn't matter if you're entitled or subjective, but the entitled are taking it too
Yeah,
far.
I think people are just stupid in general.
The entitled are taking it too far because they're saying like, oh, it's similar to slavery or it's the same as being owned or servitude and all this other stuff. And I'm just all like, no, it's not. If you want to know servitude, if you want to know judgment, you can't know that because you're entitled. You don't have that experience that everybody else or some people can have. and that's
Yeah.
it. And even then, like
I want to.
the whole Biden and Trump thing. So like Trump is fueling the fire. Biden's just trying to be like, look, it's a goddamn virus. Just wear the fucking mask. It's not gonna
Just put
kill
your
you.
mask on, please.
It's not gonna kill you. Just wear a mask. I'm wearing 2 layers. I'm fine. And we've been talking for an hour. Actually, more than an hour.
There,
Nice.
Like
I
literally,
do.
like look, there's
I
one
do
under.
want. I do have
So,
some quotes about COVID-19 though. I want to say. So these are some of the remarks people said about wearing masks. I don't wear a mask because I want to feel free. That's why I don't wear underwear as well. I want to feel the
stupid.
breeze and feel free.
Stupid.
It's a real
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. No. Okay. So let's answer. I'll answer this one right away. So if you want to be free, would you go outside, out in public, like an amusement park or just a park or wherever the fuck you want to be that's in public area, and not wear underwear and no pants
See,
and no
I think it's
shorts?
just freaking
Would
weird.
you
Why you
do
don't?
that? No. Would you do that? No,
Oh,
you wouldn't
I
because
know
it's
this is a
common
woman who
sense
said
that
that.
it's
It's
not.
just freaking weird.
It's common sense that it's some kind of weird statement to do or just a weird thing to do in a public area. It's the same thing like how it is with wearing a mask. It's a weird thing to do, but it's necessary.
Right? I think it's
It's
just. I
necessary
think
for the
that's
moment.
a funny quote though. That's what a woman
It's a
said
weird
in
thing
front
right
of
now, but it's
in front of
necessary.
the government. She
Wait,
says
what?
that in front of the government.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, people are stupid. I can't
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think people are just stupid too. Your common sense. You said it best. You either are entitled, but everyone's still stupid.
See, one thing I don't get about the whole mask thing is how could anyone, especially Trump in this case, try to turn this into a political thing? How could you have the heart to do so? I
Because
know.
okay, right now I can answer that question really easily.
I think it's because of the elections going on right
No,
now.
it's two things. It's the elections and it's the fact that he's losing the country already.
I
Since the
understood that.
since the economic collapse and the
Yeah.
COVID thing, he's already been on string. And even with the George Floyd riots, he hasn't been helping
Yeah.
it. He's been
Yeah.
fueling
He's
it just
not.
to make that standpoint. Right
No,
now, he's
I'm.
grasping for straws.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
you're
making more of
right.
a statement. I'm making more of a
And like
statement.
all the pressure. Yeah.
It's a rhetorical question, not really a question. It's that like the fact that you could like as a leader for a country, how could you sacrifice what was it like a almost like what was the
100,000.
infection? Yeah, how could you sacrifice 100,000 people to gain political like advantages?
Rhetorical
How
or
could you
not,
do
it's a
that?
simple. No, okay. Rhetorical or not, it's a simple answer. He's a power man. That's all he is. He doesn't give a shit about people.
Yeah,
It's not. It's all numbers.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
It's
then,
all numbers for
then,
him.
no, okay, but even then,
This man is really
we
big about it.
shouldn't be blaming just him either. We should be blaming ourselves because we appointed him
Yeah.
as a nation, as our chief of the
Technically,
nation.
Technically, we did not. The popular vote, for sure, Hillary won.
So
It's the fact that the electoral college is a broken system that should never even existed.
it's broken. Yeah.
No, but we also appointed the leaders that are political.
I also think that.
Not just Trump, but also the senators,
That
the
Do you want
Republicans and
to?
the
But
Democrats who either want to support him or deny him. We
yeah,
put those in
there is one
power
thing I
and we
want
let
to
those
talk
have
about.
the piece of shit.
There's one more thing I want to talk about mask. Do you think it's a good idea to actually fine people who are not wearing masks in public?
No.
I think that's a good idea.
See, this is the thing. Fining people is something different than forcing them to wear one. If you are just want to make a statement or you want to just be the piece of shit of the neighborhood, you could just carry around like a wad of cash, just like you find me here and I'm not gonna wear a mask. And they could be infected. You know there are sick people like that. There were like start of the whole virus thing, like started the whole thing. There is a woman that apparently damaged like $1,000 worth of grocery when she got infected. She went to a grocery store and she started coughing on fucking everything.
What a jerk.
Yeah, but there's no
People,
criminal. There's no
there are
criminal
people
offense
like
against
that.
this.
There are people like that. So
They're entitled.
by just finding them, it ain't gonna do shit. It's probably gonna encourage them to do like something stupid. It's like, oh, so now the only consequence I have is just finding me, so I'm just gonna carry water cash. I'm gonna be a piece of shit about it. Not gonna wear a mask, cough on everyone. And
I wonder if
people like that
is fine,
exist.
though, actually. And I didn't research that. Look that up really fast. Going, Joey. I just realized I should probably look up the fine for the mask.
No, it's only okay. The fine for the mask is $100, then $250, then $500 for
Really? Is that what
personnel.
it really is?
Even
For personnel,
Only that's like an average ticket for like a speeding ticket.
also
exactly. It's not
also the
much.
thing is, it's not the first. It's not that much. If you make it too much, if you act like if I went outside, accidentally forgot my mask, it's not fair for me to get accident like get fined, get fined at all because I might forget or my mask broke or there's like reason that could happen. There are circumstances that might prove challenging for me to wear a mask and all that. Uh, the second thing is you're adding unnecessary risk for the police. You have those just the stupid pieces of shit not wearing masks, probably already getting infected. There's a high chance they're already infected since they're not even wearing a mask. You ask the policeman to walk up to them, ask them for them to find, like they had to find them. You have to have the whole transaction about they talking to them, get them ticket and everything. There's a higher risk for the policeman to unfortunately get those virus.
Yeah.
So it's not fair for whoever have to enforce this thing, and it's not fair for whoever forgot to wear them or have other uh, thing that might be going on that they couldn't wear one as of currently, like as the time that they got fined. So finding them doesn't help the case. It's more of the you have to educate everyone around you, like everyone around you, that you have to wear a mask. When you see someone that's not wearing a mask, you either avoid them or confront them like, hey, piece of shit, start wearing a mask. It's not going to kill you. If
No,
they,
but the thing. Okay,
You
but
don't
the
have to
thing
say that.
about that
Actually,
is.
just please put a mask on.
yeah.
Okay, but the thing about that is that you could feed people information all you want, but if they
They're
don't
not gonna
accept
change
it,
it.
no. If they don't accept it, they're not gonna fucking care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have
See,
to accept the information, Joey.
no,
That's what
those
that's what
people
people
are
are.
not going to care regardless. You do realize that, right? You feeding
That's
them
what we're saying. Like
information,
they don't want to accept the information that they're given
yeah,
because there are people
yeah,
that say
no, I know.
right. You don't have to listen to anyone else. My opinion is the only thing that matters.
No, exactly. Even if they don't listen, if they're not accepting any like new information at all, finding them doesn't change shit. They're still gonna do the same thing. They still think they're right. You're just infringing my freedom, and that's about it. That's the only thing they see. So it doesn't matter. Finding them only add issue to like, oh, where the money go, or oh, where is this money going? Oh, I guess policeman is just gonna make some quick money now. Like it have bigger issue or bigger implication when you find people. And so if it doesn't matter at all, you can confront them. If they don't listen or you ain't gonna change them, avoid them. That's the best you can do now. Social distancing. Just social distance yourself from those stupid people that can even wear a fucking mask to protect anyone. It's not gonna choke you to death. I'm wearing two. I'm fine.
Okay, we're not even close to each other, Joey. We're doing this online.
Yeah, honestly, like, what's your
Yeah, I'm
problem?
still wearing two. I'm still alive. I'm not. I'm not suffocating to death.
What
True.
I do is that whenever I wear a mask, is that I actually put a piece of paper towel on it so I don't actually breathe onto the mask. I can reuse it again.
I just have a bandana. I just have two bandanas.
I have
That's
this
it.
I
I'm a
have this
pussy.
like a mask thing that it's go all the way around. I have like a another one.
I like how we went back to like how political we are, and then we're just talking about how we just put on masks now.
Yes.
It's good that people like learn how to do those stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I designed like a little strap to help you to put on those masks so it doesn't hurt your ears that much. Those are nice.
It's called a bandana.
Yeah, well, if you're wearing like a 95, which is like the one that like supposedly highly protective, I had some stock up before the whole coronavirus thing because I was like spray painting and shit. I have like a bunch of them, and then like when you put them on for a long period of time, it fucking hurts. It really hurts.
Like, it leaves marks, right? That's what leaves
What?
marks on your forehead.
What? What do you say?
Apparently, those masks you're describing too. Apparently, they also leave marks on your face.
Oh yeah, it does. It does leave a really deep mark, which is not like
It's
it
really
it's
tight. That's why, because it's trying to actually make sure you're secure.
yeah, make sure like it's a good seal and stuff. But like after like putting on like those like assistant strap, which you can find those designed online too, and like it helps a lot. I like those.
Yeah. Do you want me to go to the my third topic?
Good
Let
transition.
me transition. I know how to have good transitions.
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah, go
transition
ahead.
then.
Go
As
ahead.
you mentioned before, people tend to have bring up slavery or bondage when they are forced to wear a mask. As also he mentioned before, George Floyd did cause a second spike in the coronavirus because social gathering. So, in terms of George Floyd, why do you think they need to be louder, or do you think they have to have better ways of voicing their concerns for people of colors?
Better ways of voicing their concerns.
None of those, honestly. It doesn't help either one. What it needs to change
Wow,
is the political system itself.
that's
Oof.
a oof one. That have a lot
Yeah.
of oomph behind that.
Okay, okay, let me explain how and why. Simple as this. The same thing with Hillary. You had the whole Feminism Act, and she won by the majority, popularity vote, correct?
Yes.
Actually, I think it was like 60 to 40.
Still,
Sixty percent.
yeah, exactly. That's a huge percent. But that case said, she was popular. She didn't get it. She didn't get the whole thing. And it's the same thing now. You could have all these people speaking out. You could have all these acts coming out. It's not going to do anything unless you change the political system from inside. Don't get me wrong, their voices and the concerns. It's a good thing that they're doing now, and I wish it would be a bigger effect. But realistically, you need to change the political standpoint, not the actual shadow of the situation.
I still think it's a really good thing that actual businesses are adapting to it. Like how,
No,
like
no,
the movie stars are actually kind of taking it from like how they voiced people of color. They didn't realize that, oh wait, I'm white and I'm voicing like an Asian or black character.
See, the thing, there's a slight issue with the movement. It's a good movement. Giving people of color, like they are not treating equally. You have to give them equal rights, or in this case, more rights than they have right now, for them to get equal. But at the same time, as the movement goes on, like any movement, it starts mutating. There are small strands of people that starting a witch hunt for some reason. They're digging up old footage of someone like immaturely doing stupid shit 20 years back. I like you should pay for or you should apologize for them, but you shouldn't get canceled like the whole cancel culture. You shouldn't get cancel culture for a lot of those people.
And that's what happened to the guy from Flash. A
The
lot
what?
of YouTubers now.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of people getting canceled over something they did like
Years
15 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the movement's great. I believe black people or people
I
of
believe
color
the
in general
movement is right.
should
It's doing
have.
the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have like if they don't feel comfortable a certain thing, they should speak up. If they think those some of the stuff they do are racist, you should speak up. If you think if you think you're not treating equal, you should speak up. You should do all those stuff. But I hate the fact that people are making it mutated in the fact that it's like a witch hunt. If they say anything like remotely like similar to
And like
something they did,
like anything that was, it might have not
anything that's close, yeah,
hit back then, but it doesn't fit the times. Yeah.
yeah. You can't go back to 1920 and say like, oh, he said the N-word, he must be a racist, cancel him. It doesn't work like that. Historic
It
context
was like that.
matter.
It's the time period.
Yeah, like back in 20 years ago, yes, like civil rights movement's already like over and everyone's fine. But back then, it wasn't a big deal to do blackface. A lot of it's like completely fine for a lot of people. What was it? the Tonight Show. Jimmy Kimmel did blackface like way
Years
back
ago,
when.
20
Yeah.
years ago,
To as
2010.
impersonation, like as like an impression of his friend. His friend found it fucking funny, and he is getting canceled over this. I don't see how is that any sense makes any sense. Like,
Remember
yes.
when Robert Downey Jr. did blackface?
Oh, that was a
That was a
shitstorm.
joke.
Yeah, that was a shitstorm.
Remember he did. That was
Yeah,
in Tropic
Tropical
Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble for that? I don't know if he got in trouble for
He
that
didn't get in
actually.
trouble. The director got in trouble. Yeah, he did not get in extra
What?
trouble. The director got in big trouble because the director asked him to do so. So like the main heat went
It's
up to
part of the
like
joke though.
yeah,
It's supposed to be part of the joke.
yeah. But the thing is like what was the other thing I was gonna say? Um, there's another thing, but the thing is like it's getting to a point that's like no longer. Yeah, we need to make sure black people or people of color have equal rights. It became a witch hunt. They were changing like words and stuff. The blacklist, which is an old word from like probably hundreds of years ago. They changed that. They want to change it to like other way of saying that, because the word black is certainly related to a color, and that's why it matters so much. No, it's the color of your skin. Like Yellow Book. It's a book for telephone numbers. I don't get offended by that. It's
Just
not
a yellow
Asian book.
book. Just a yellow
Yeah,
book. That's what it's
it's
described to be. That's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Blacklist wasn't like because you're black they don't allow you in. You could argue that, but at the same time, it was just a word that you cross name off. It's a black pen crossing name off. It's a blacklist. It's getting to the point. It's getting ridiculous. But the movement was great, and they mutated. I hate the fact that that happened a lot.
It really kind of developed over it. Not yeah, you're right. Not developed, but
Not in a good way.
right.
It's became like a tumor. Like Martin Luther King and everyone that's like, oh, we have a movement, we want this, and we're gonna get it. They have a single fixed point that like they're working to get it. This one doesn't have one. It had a good point. It's
It's
like arrest a for
itself
officer.
over and over to everything.
Yeah, it was like, oh, the four officers that killed George Floyd, they need to get held accountable, which I fucking agree. Good point. That's a good point. And
They should be
also,
accountable. They did.
yeah, also change
And
the
they
whole police
evolved
system.
like everything else. Like, oh wait, don't forget this actor did this a few years ago, or this television show.
Like
Oh,
what?
but what? That's not
Why?
connected to the situation.
Like why would you do that?
You're just ruining someone's life for making a
Yeah,
joke long time ago.
yeah, it sucks.
Like I said,
But it
this
also
is
makes
more
me
political than anything else.
yeah.
This whole
It,
movement is just political, and you can't change it from the outside in. You need to change it from the inside out. And people don't realize that. People don't realize that the whole thing about this system is that it's super, super lean on certain
see,
people, and it's pressured on others.
yeah,
Like the whole thing with the cops is like, yeah, they're supposed to be cops, but they're also privileged as much as every other white person or every other person that seems to be wealthy or whatever the case, because they have that entitlement of power or that title of power that they can use to their advantage. And you can't change that from being like, oh yeah, they have that title of power. You can change that. It's like, no, you have to change that title to be familiar to the public instead of it being the public fears that title.
They shouldn't actually enforce their entitlement on others. You're saying, right?
Yes,
They
they
should actually
and
kind of embrace like what's going on with the public and not actually and kind of reject their entitlement.
the whole thing is like, if you realize like how shitty cops are trained or how cops are acted, it shouldn't be how it is now. Like there are so many black sheep between the
I
white
think
sheep that ruin the image of cops, and that's
I
what's
think
happening
one
now.
yeah
And that's a
the
whole
image of
political
Trump
thing.
is really getting like dismantled because of what's going on.
That's the whole, but like that's the whole
Apparently,
thing.
that Brooklyn Nine-Nine show is getting a lot of heat.
Every cop show is getting a lot of, they're getting
yeah,
canceled and everything. But like I said, it's more like it's a political thing. It's not just from the outside in. It's the inside out. You have
See
to
the
change the
thing.
pol. You have to change the policies
Do
that
you
make the such things that black sheep get away with
I
impossible, so that only the white sheep can show.
I don't believe it's
yeah.
like the idea of the policy. It's more of the political tactics of like a lot of politicians. They always is like you versus them. Them could be the police, them could be the black people, them could be the Mexican, them could be the Christian, them could be the Irish, they could be the German. It's always you versus them. It's always you versus them. Them over there. That's not the same as you, skin color, belief, religion, political parties. It's not the people. It's not the people versus. It's became people versus themselves. It's
Yeah.
themselves. It's people fighting with each other.
Fighting with themselves and just contradicting themselves at the
They
same
are
time.
getting away with everything. They're getting with sexual harassment. They're getting away with shit ton of stuff. They are not getting any justice like at all. We are not getting people. The people are not getting injustice. They are doing the whole thing is, oh, you people versus them people. You guys fight. I'm gonna profit off of it. Whenever the people, like we actually realize the fact that we the people means everyone. Doesn't matter you're Republican, doesn't matter you're Democrat, doesn't matter you're gay, doesn't matter you're black, doesn't matter whatever skin color you have, doesn't matter you're white. It doesn't matter. When you realize that we the people means everyone, that doesn't matter what you are, they're fucked. They're absolutely fucked. Because they don't have anything else other than that to get anything done. All the stuff they're doing right now is to drive fear, drive anger between the people, make sure we kept busy between ourselves, and that's fucking it. That's it.
But that's like what I said. You have to change it from the inside out. And what we're doing is that we're trying to bash the outside in, and that's a bad idea. From reforming it from the inside out fixes everything. Because like how I said, it's all political. Even the policies that I mentioned before. If you ever realize that cops don't have to wear body cams at all, that's an option. And that's only in 5 states. Cops don't actually have to wear it in 45 states of the 50 states that we have. If we had a policy, a federal policy that would enforce a law for them to wear body cams all times during work hours, it would fix a lot of problems. All these black sheep, all these allegations, all these injustices that we see from a system that is not supposed to be happening would be fixed. And that could be
Yeah.
fixed in the matter of just a political movement. But they're not doing that. They're optionally choosing not to do that. They're avoiding it. They're just basically doing the one thing that could fix everything because they know they could get away with it. They know that they have the power to do that. They have that entitlement that we have given them.
So,
And it's the thing, and it's the whole thing. It's like it's not when people say it's not the policies, it's not the politics, it's not all the leadership. No, it is the leadership. It is the politics. It is the policies. Because if you realize that the leadership is corrupt, then the policies are corrupt. Then the politics are corrupt. Then everything else is just shit after that. And that's the whole thing about it. Like this movement is nice enough, and I don't mind them voicing their fucking concerns and everything. It's good. It's finally good that everybody's fucking doing that. It took how many fucking years to do that? It's amazing, but it's not going to change anything unless we turn it inside out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, what was I gonna
So
say?
Joey, I remember I was planning on changing the subject. You're trying to actually incorporate it into your talk. So
So,
on change the subject to the third one.
no, let me finish this part. So,
Okay.
I read it somewhere, I think, a few days ago, that like the U.S. spend about 2% of the entire GDP on military.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton. They did the math that if U.S. cut military spending in half for every year in half in 1 year by just cutting 1 year in half, in that year, the money saved in that year will solve the homeless problem, do countless political movement, and U.S. will still have the highest spending, the most expensive military in the world, even by cutting the whole thing in half. So fuck me in the ass. cut it in half, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, just cut it in half. It will be easier on everyone else. Like,
It's
we solve
literally
a lot of problems in
it's
the
literally
U.S.
so insane. U.S. spends so much money on the military front. It's insane. Oh, the China have so much shit. No, Chinese military not getting as much spending as the U.S. Russia is not getting as much spending as the U.S. U.S. have the most amount of money out of the entire world, and suppose the U.S. is what the peacekeeper of the world. Really? You spend a lot of
Okay.
money in a gun to be the peacekeeper every year.
Okay, but let's talk about that as well if you want to transition into that. The thing about I do like about the army and I don't like about the cops is that the army enforces the idea that you have to follow their way of law, that you have to follow their rules, and if you disobey those rules without any and this is the thing too, there's also corruption in the army, and I know this because there's a whole recent case with I forgot her name, but she was a Mexican. Yeah, she was a Mexican, and she died during an
How did she
during
die?
she was I think she was tortured by her CEO, which
Oh,
is yeah. So trust me, I do know there's corruption in the army, but there's less corruption in the army that you see openly on home soil than you do with cops because they beat them into submission to the idea that if you disobey our commands, we don't mind killing you. We don't mind having that institution of fear. We don't have that.
we
We
don't
don't
have
have.
that. I'm
We
afraid of
don't have
actually
that
kicking you out and just leaving you on the streets.
exactly. We don't care if you do that, and that's the thing that we don't do with bad cops, like with the black sheep. We don't do that with people. We don't do that on home soil. We don't
Yeah.
do that with our current policies, and that's the thing I don't like because army beats them into submission to the fact like if you don't follow the rules to the way that we like them, we don't care about you then. We
You're
could
gone.
literally give less a
Just get out of our way. Then you're
we
basically
could
useless. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But with cops, it's more like they accept everybody, and that's the problem with it. And even if they do stuff on that shady, either with torturing someone mentally or fucking abusing someone physically, they could get away with it because they don't enforce those kind of things. Don't get me wrong, both organizations have problems, but the
One
ones
has
who
better
listen,
structure. Has better
one
structure.
no, one
And
has a
actually has
harsher
policy.
structure. One has an harsher structure with a more secure structure, and one that just is more free and more independent, which is terrible. Because with that independent, you'd get chaos.
Mm.
Okay.
I think the National Guard is actually doing a really good job with during these times too.
They aren't doing they aren't really suppressing anyone that
You're
much.
just doing what they're supposed to do because
they
the National Guard. If you really do think about the National Guard, they're below Marines, they're below the Army. They're basically the best force you would ever send in. Just
Yeah,
there,
but
they're there to help out with with anything that goes on. I think they're doing a
but
really good job of handling the situation though.
yeah
but in their defense, they're being into that submission. They don't have as many problems, and they're
yeah
still on home soil.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the
I know
thing
the
that
National Guard is just all like it's just volunteers basically. The National Guard,
no, but you also have
it's just all
volunteer.
volunteers.
Yeah, but it's the same with cops. But it's more the fact that we don't have the same policies for two organizations that have the same job. Like National Guard are supposed to protect on the federal level, but then we have cops that are supposed to protect on the local level, and we treat them very differently.
Yeah. Do we have another topic?
I don't know. What do you
We
guys
have
want to talk
the
about?
people. The people of color should people of color voice people of color in movies and shows
Oh, that one.
connects with the what we were just talking about a
Yeah.
bit about how you want to go into that.
It depends.
Yeah.
It
Well,
it it mildly depends on you're what that show is about
Well,
typically.
it can be connected to the idea of like they're just acting.
yeah.
No, but
That's
the
what I
thing
was saying.
is
Like
that
they're just
the
Yeah,
thing I
Gio?
don't
the
like about
representation is wrong.
Let
Though.
Gio
I think
speak.
that's
Let
what's
Gio speak. Let Gio speak.
but
the thing I don't the thing I have a problem with shows that with shows today is that they have so much impact on society itself. Like,
Mm.
what 100 years ago we barely had TVs, and now it's so significant in our lives that it influences people in either the minute or major ways, to the fact that it could change their life from one aspect to another.
Yeah.
So it's more like how like sitcoms can be taken lightly, like as a comedy show and whatever, but it also could have heavy facts of racism, sexual tension, or whatever the
I
case may
like
be.
that Vaxel Raven episode.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it could still be portrayed wrong, as other shows can be. Like with cops, like I know there's a show that was like cops, and it was an old show, it was like a 50s and 80s
It's
show, I think.
it's like the body cam show, right?
No, 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 not Life PD. Life PD is just weird.
I like YPD. It's actually a fun show.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's a
I
show.
But
like them.
no,
It's a
no, no,
show.
no. But
You know
yeah,
what? What did you say, Joey?
Huh?
Didn't hear you. What did you say?
It's a show. That's the issue with this. Like you have, like they will pick out pick out certain parts. They
You know
will
what?
leave out certain parts. It's not the truth. That's the whole issue with Live PD. That's I think they're getting sued too in light of
They
the
are
whole
getting
thing.
sued. They are getting sued.
Yeah, they are getting sued.
But you were saying though.
like I said, shows have such an impact on the world today that you could have shows that are cop based, like there was a show like from 50 years ago. I forgot what it was called, but basically it was two white cops, detectives, whatever the case may be, and their chief was black. But in mostly every episode, I think all of their criminals that they had on every episode were either Mexican, black, or some kind of color.
Ah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So that
Ah.
might
They,
so
Ah.
I'm talking like I'm talking like more of the voice acting part, Geo, because I think Kristen Bell, who was supposed to be in that new Central Park show, quit because she was portraying a black character.
exactly my point.
And
It's
how
more
the
like
I think it connects with acting, but I think at the same time there should be representation for the actual race.
yeah, that's the thing.
I
Like I
think there
said,
should be representation. I don't know how to feel about it though. I think like it's acting or is it representation at the same time. I think I would rather
well,
have the person of color do it though.
It
here's the
depends.
thing though. I don't want them to be subjected to the fact of that kind of fear, but I don't
Yeah.
want them to be I don't want them either to be subjected that they have only one type of character. The thing is that I don't want the gentrification of having I criminals or cops or whatever idea you want to put out there into just one subject. And that's the thing I have a problem with shows, because every time they try to gentrify those kind of people, it's similarly the people that you see all the time. And I have a problem with that.
There is one thing besides actual. Well, there is one person, Alison Brie, who actually regrets playing in I think a Vietnamese character in BoJack Horseman.
Which one?
But there is an article I was started reading because Aaron Montero posted on the Discord for me.
Ah.
It said how Americans are getting mad about anime dubbing. How it should be the Japanese speaking instead of actual dubbing of over it.
Yeah. Well, good lucky understanding what they're saying. Because I'm
Right?
pretty sure they might not even speak the language. You're forcing them to speak the language? Are you kidding? It's worse than what
I
you
think
just said.
that's very it makes I understand. I think the Kristen Bell and like the Central Park and like the person who played the African and the Vietnamese character makes sense because they want representation in the show because they're not representing the people right. How they want like someone of the actual race to like represent the characters, but
Yeah, but
how
if
to feel
you're
about this dubbing one because
see,
you're just dubbing over it and like making it easy for audiences around the world
okay,
to
see,
Okay.
understand.
the issue I
Well,
have
okay.
right now with this is that technically you're being more racist to get someone that's that race to supposedly voice the thing. basically you're enforcing stereotype that they speak like that all the fucking time. If you have one like a specific voice or accent that you want. So you're
That's what I
being
was.
more racist. That you're like, oh, let's get a
Like,
Vietnamese guy to a gal to
you're
came
being
in.
racist at the same time. It's like no one else can voice this besides the actual race.
Yeah, so yeah,
I was thinking
let
like
them have the
racist at the same
yeah.
time.
It's really racist that like, oh, let's find the strongest accented one that sounds like the one that we try to portray. Let him or her come in and then start voicing this. It's really racist. It's really racist. What do you
I kind of
mean?
get the attention, like they want someone to actually do the representation, but I think it's at the same time it is pretty racist.
Yeah, if you're trying to do like do the black accent, which is like the way they
Yeah,
talk,
because
supposed to talk,
Cleveland,
like
the guy who
yeah,
played Cleveland, the Family Guy, bringing back all the way the Family Guy, he actually left after doing it for 20 years.
yeah, like if you
He was
try to say that, like if you're trying to just have like the way of talking like that, yes, maybe like you don't want some white person to just to simulate that, maybe yeah. But when you try to have like what you wanted is the whole idea of them talking in a specific accent, and you let them came in, it's like we want the strongest accent guy to come in and speak for the voice. You are a fucking racist, my guy.
I would say one thing too is that okay, the BoJack Horseman one that's Vietnamese, she's born American. I'm pretty sure she was born American.
Wait, are you talking
And the
about
one
the
about
wait? Hold on. Are you talking
the new
about
one, I forgot.
no? But which Vietnamese character? Because I remember there was a few.
The one that was voiced by Alison Brie. I forgot her name in the show.
Let me check.
Alison Brie and BoJack Horseman. But the one in Central Park with Kristen Bell, she was actually a mixed character. So she was half black and I believe half white. And I don't understand the representation with that one.
Oh, okay. No. I found her. I found what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see why they could get hazed for that. It was.
Yeah, but I don't understand the Central Park one. You guys get what I'm saying, though, right? Like it's a mixed character.
Yeah, but it's just more like it's just
I
controversial.
think I would rather have representation. At the same time, yeah, it's kind of racist that you think certain people should voice them.
No, but it's also the fact that the thing is that I have with the industry is that yes, it could be deemed as racist, but it could be deemed as it could be
Representing them
better from
too.
another person than from the
Yeah,
it could be better from another person than from the actual race, in my
that's what I
in
was
some
thinking too. Because
opinions,
if anything,
in some scenarios.
you're playing like a different character of a different race, kind of representing those people too at the same time, either in a good light or a bad light. It depends.
Yeah, because honestly, it just depends on like how you could portray them. Like with BoJack Horseman, like the show, they didn't get subjected by race or by sexuality or anything. They just brought in
I'm
several
pretty
different
sure she.
characters. They brought
I
in
was gonna
several
say I'm
different
pretty sure
characters that were
she
like
the
super
character's like
broad.
really like. Yeah, I was gonna say like, I'm pretty sure that character is born American if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, she is American. I'm
and
pretty sure.
she's portrayed as one of the smartest characters in the show. They don't really focus on their race.
Yeah, but that's kind of the whole idea. That's the
Yeah,
thing I like about animated shows and I don't like about real like live action shows. Live action shows, you have to be very picky on certain things. But with animated, it doesn't matter how or who they look like, who what they are, what their fucking
I
accent
think the
is,
voice
as
matters. Like if
long
the
as
voice
they
fits the
fucking do it.
character, if
Which
the
one?
voice fits the character.
Yes, if the voice fits the character, you're fine, honestly. And even then, if you need to have like some kind of like foreign advisor or whatever on just that culture, sure, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
That makes sense. Yeah. Um,
But
I
live
want
action,
to
you need to
make
be more accurate.
I do want to make Joey happy really fast because Japan is actually getting mad at Hollywood right now
Really?
Or
because they're getting mad about how America is censoring actual dubbing.
Wait, what?
How they're getting mad at dubbing because they're saying, "Yeah, what's the point? You're basically preventing people from watching it in their own language."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Honestly, I actually like animes and dubs more than I do in subs. Honestly,
Yeah,
and
cause
You
some
can,
in
I
some
can,
of
I
them,
can
in
watch
some
either
of them,
one.
yeah.
I think it
in some of
depends
them,
on
not
the show.
all.
Like, if you want to watch it like really fast, you can watch it in dub. But if you really are interested in it and you want to hear like the original one, you can go for sub too.
No,
It's
okay. So
I don't
like,
think it really matters if you go for sub or
yeah,
for
it's
dub.
whatever. It's not like it's a choice
it's just
thing.
I think
preferred
it
by
depends on the
person.
person too. Yeah.
It's just preference by person. That's
But
all it is.
I love the fact that like people get mad for a certain race that the race wasn't even mad about. It's basically like, oh wait. I know you're too stupid to be offended yourself. By the way, that was offensive. So let you guys are way too stupid. Me, who is way better in every way because I'm smarter, I'm gonna be offended for you. See, I handled it for you. You guys are good. Fuck you. Fuck you particularly. Fuck you. If you get offended for other person, no, I'm saying if you offend for other person, like if you're not certain race or certain like thing, and you offended for another race, you are a piece of shit. You are basically saying I'm better than you. That's why I can be offended for you. Now you're yourself being offended. Fuck you in particular.
Joey, I want to talk about this. So, my one of my favorite shows, Community.
Mhm.
There's an episode they're gonna take off from Netflix
Uh huh.
because there's an Asian character portraying a dark elf,
Oh God.
but it's not a black. It's not black facing.
Put it up in the thing.
I'll send you the picture right now
Yeah.
because
Uh,
it's not really dark black facing. But the weird thing is that it's just supposed to be a joke and it's supposed to be pointing at war. So they're taking this episode off because one of the characters for like only 5 minutes is like this.
Yeah, that's a bit creepy. I'm not gonna put
But
it on the
the reason
screen.
is that they're saying dark elves can't defend themselves.
Ooh.
That's dumb. There's no such thing as dark elves in real life.
Yeah.
Not gonna say anything on that point
Yep. Nope.
because I know I know there's a dumb possibility, but I don't want to speak it now. That's just controversial.
But yeah, fuck you if you get offended for someone else, for other race, for it's basically saying to yourself you're better. I hate that. I fucking hate it. If I make a joke laughing at an Asian, it's my thing. Well, I can do it whatever the
Yeah,
fuck a thing. I can do it. I
I
can do whatever the hell I
I
want.
think
Don't get offended because I said it. Fuck you.
I always think Asian jokes with you, Joey.
Yeah, like if you say Asian jokes, if you're Asian saying Asian joke, or me as an Asian, I say Asian joke laughing at my own race. Don't get fucking offended if you're not Asian.
I think all that matters is that the person is just the right role for the thing, not like if they're part of the description.
As long as they can play it correctly,
Yes,
they're
exactly.
fine.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like if they play the character correctly, they understand what the character has been through. And yeah, I think they should be the
It
person that
doesn't
should be
matter. It's
voicing the character.
acting. It's
It shouldn't
acting.
be about. They're acting anyways at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
You're just acting, representing the character, the actual kind of culture yourself. You're not actually harming it in a way.
What? You're not gonna get mad at the cast of Hamlet because they killed they're adulterous pieces of shit because they are not. The actors are not. It's just an act. It's an act put on for entertainment. Don't
It's
mix
supposed to be
entertainment
for
with
art.
politics. Don't mix them.
Like cool.
If you really want to get into like that whole controversy thing, Hamlet's cast is like 50%. I'm pretty sure it's like mostly
I
white
can't.
people.
We can barely hear you. Are you far away from the mic?
I don't know, I'm just so Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just looked this
Oh.
up. 80%
Oh
of its
no.
cast, the animated, is white.
Ah.
So, and it's a mostly Asian show. So, people really want to have controversy, we should talk about this.
So I'm assuming no one can hear what Gio just said. It's Avatar: The Last
I heard.
Airbender. Yeah. No, I'm repeating it because no one else listening to the podcast can hear it. If there's anyone,
Go ahead.
but Avatar: The Airbender is like 80% white for the voice and all that. If you want to get mad at that show. Which I know people are not going to get mad because it's nostalgia. So, fuck you guys if you're getting mad at this. I'm not mad if, like,
Getting mad
it's your choice. Like,
if you're getting mad at the show that's representing Asian
yeah.
culture did the best way they could.
Don't
And
get
also, it's a
offended
fantasy
for me.
show
I
too.
know when to get
It's
offended,
not
so
a
shut the fuck up.
show too. It's off Asian culture, but doesn't mean you have to get
Yeah.
like Asian people to actually play it. They're
Yeah.
representing the show as best they could. They want to be part of the show and actually show off a hit world that people can enjoy.
Yeah.
It's not all about.
It's not
You get what I'm
about
saying,
race.
Joey? Like,
Yeah.
it's not about
Exactly.
race. It's about like
That's what I'm trying
you
to say.
representing it.
Don't get
You need to
offended for
represent it.
me. Don't get offended for me. I know when to get offended, so shut the fuck up if I'm not offended. Shut your mouth if you're offended for me. I don't need that. Seriously.
Right?
If
That's
you
what
get
I'm saying.
offended for Asian jokes that I don't even mind, fuck you in particular. Fuck you.
Yeah, but just the whole.
Joey, yeah. I think we're all in agreement with this acting thing, though, the voice acting
Yeah.
thing, because it
It's
just makes no
whatever. It's an
sense.
act. It's an act that for entertainment. There's no point.
Simple as this. As long as you can portray it, you're fine. That's
Yeah.
it. End story.
Yeah, there is one thing I know, like they did lean into like a fully African American cast, which was the Lion King reboot.
Oh, fine. Really?
Because I remember Matthew Broderick was Simba, wasn't he?
I don't know. Really? It's all CGI'd animal. What the hell?
Right? I think it just be like who's the best fit.
I don't know if it's more
I think that's a
offensive.
good representation.
No, I don't know if it's more offensive that you have to have like location
Okay, actually,
specific characters.
I want to bring up one thing. Genie from both Aladdin movies. What do you think is the best representation of the character? Robin Williams or Will Smith?
Oh.
Williams.
Eh.
Was made for Williams.
Well, let me give some background about the genie in the original movie. They always intended for Robin Williams to be the main to be the genie, as in the scene that. So when they plan on doing the casting of Robin Williams, they actually started making animation cells, actually animating it over an actual comedy bit Robin Williams did during his time as a comedian. Robin Williams loved it so much that he wanted to be part of the show. And apparently, Disney came up with the idea, even though Robin Williams is dead, they still had over 10 hours of improv from Robin Williams to actually include in the next movie.
I prefer Williams more than Smith. Mostly because Williams is more a comedic type of character.
Yeah, Gio, we can't hear you at all. You have to speak louder.
Can you hear me? Yes or no?
Better.
Sure.
This is gonna be a fucking nightmare. Yes? No? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, seems like
Okay.
Gio's a bit tired.
So what's your insight on this, Joey, though?
Yeah, I don't see there's any issue. I don't see there's what representing or not. Uh, it's not even set for any African American play if you want true representation. Anyways, I think we are done with the topic today.
I do have another one, but I don't think we want to go into it.
Yeah, we can talk about it next time on the next topic.
So I get a better headset.
Yep, until Gio get a better headset that we can actually hear him instead of we can't hear him at all.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they can't hear you when you
No,
cuss at me. I can barely hear you saying like rude stuff to me. So hey. Yeah.
We'll get some guests over into our podcast soon
Yeah.
as
Next
well.
time we will probably get some guests over. Okay. So
How long did we film for?
about 2 hours. So
So
yeah,
that was nearly like an hour and 40 minutes. This was a good
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Okay,
We got
that's about it.
we put our views about comic books out. We got our political views out.
Yeah,
How we
there's a
view the
lot of
world.
stuff.
That's a good stuff to
I
talk
touched
about.
I touched the
At least we're not that bad.
We are not horrible people. Hell yeah.
Yeah. At least we understood each other's opinion and
Okay.
agreed with each other.
Okay. That's it for this podcast.
Basically, because we were just informing each other about
Yeah.
topics about the world right now and giving our own input on it.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it for this
Yeah.
podcast. Have a good day.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
So